The days after Sarah's death were unbearable for Ollie. Every corner of the campus screamed her name. The library where she wrote poems, the rooftop where they dreamed, the garden bench where she smiled. He couldn't escape her shadow. One evening, as Ollie sat alone in Sarah's favorite spot, her younger brother approached him, carrying a small box. "Ollie, bye. Sarah left this for you." Ollie's trembling hands opened the box. Inside was her diary, worn out, filled with her handwriting, her world. The very same diary she never let him read fully. His eyes welled with tears. Back in his room, Ollie opened the first page. Her words danced across the paper. "Dear diary, today I met someone in the rain. He dropped my books but picked up my heart. His name is Ollie." Ollie's chest tightened. He turned the pages one by one, reading her secret thoughts. "Ollie's smile feels like sunlight after rain. If my days are numbered, I hope I spend them all with him. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of leaving him behind." Each word cut deeper than any wound. For the first time, Ollie realized how much she had been hiding. Her pain, her fears, her love, her strength. By the time he reached the middle pages, he could no longer hold back. Tears blurred the ink as he whispered, "Sarah, why didn't you tell me all this before? Why did you hide this pain?" But the diary was silent, just like her. That night, Ollie couldn't sleep. He clutched the diary to his chest, as if it were Sarah herself. Every page pulled him deeper into the past, into the moments he could never get back. Yet, in her words, he found something else too, her hope. One page read, "If Ollie is reading this after I'm gone, I want him to know he was my forever, and forever never ends, even if I'm not there." Ollie's hand shook. His tears fell on the page, smudging her ink, but her voice rang in his ears. For the first time since her death, Ollie whispered into the night, "Sarah, I hear you. I'll never let your words die." The diary became his lifeline. Every page was her heartbeat. Every poem was her breath. She was gone, yet somehow still alive in the lines of ink. Ollie closed his eyes, clutching the diary, and made a new silent promise. "If you couldn't finish your story, Sarah, I will." And thus began the next chapter of Ollie's life, living through the words she left behind. Ollie's days turned into endless nights. Even surrounded by people, he felt alone. The laughter of his friends no longer reached him. The lectures in class sounded empty, and the campus that once felt alive now seemed like a graveyard of memories. He carried Sarah's diary everywhere, sometimes pressed against his chest, sometimes hidden in his bag. It was the only thing keeping him connected to her. But grief is heavy. One night, Ollie sat at his study table, staring blankly at Sarah's handwriting. He whispered, "Sarah, you asked me to live, but how? How can I breathe when every breath feels incomplete without you?" His room was dark except for the flicker of a candle. The pages of the diary rustled in the wind, almost as if Sarah was answering him. Ollie began skipping meals. His friends noticed the change. "Ollie, you can't live like this," one of them said. But Ollie only replied, "You don't understand. She was my life. Without her, I'm just surviving." One evening, he returned to the rooftop, the place where their laughter once echoed. He closed his eyes and imagined her sitting beside him. For a moment, he felt her hand slip into his, her voice whispering his name. But when he opened his eyes, the rooftop was empty. Tears spilled down his cheeks. He screamed into the night, "Why did you leave me, Sarah? You promised forever." The echo of his voice faded into silence. The next day, Ollie's professor called him. "Ollie, you were one of my brightest students. But now you're failing. Is everything okay?" Ollie forced a nod, but inside he was breaking. At night, he flipped through the diary again. One line caught his eye. "If Ollie ever loses himself, I hope he finds me in the stars." That night, he went to the terrace, looked up at the sky, and whispered, "Sarah, are you there? Can you see me?" The stars twinkled above, silent yet comforting. For the first time, Ollie didn't cry. He just let the quiet night wrap around him like Sarah's embrace. But deep inside, the struggle remained. He was torn between holding on and letting go, between surviving and truly living. The diary gave him strength, but it also reminded him of everything he had lost. And the question that haunted him was simple, yet impossible. How do you move on from a love that was your entire life? Ollie didn't have the answer. Not yet. But he knew one thing. Sarah's story wasn't over. Because as long as he held her words, her dreams, and her love close, she would keep living through him. And maybe, just maybe, he would learn how to live again. Ollie had spent weeks lost in sorrow. Every day, he read Sarah's diary, reliving their memories, but the pain of her absence was unbearable. One afternoon, as he returned to her room to gather her belongings, something caught his eye, a small envelope tucked behind a stack of books. Curious, he picked it up. His hands trembled. On the envelope, in Sarah's handwriting, was written, "For Ollie, only when you feel lost." Ollie's heart pounded. He sat on the edge of her bed and carefully opened it. Inside was a letter, neatly folded, her handwriting elegant yet filled with emotion. "My dearest Ollie, if you're reading this, it means I am gone and you're feeling lost. I want you to know something important. Life will feel empty without me, but that emptiness can be filled with the dreams we once shared. Remember our promises? The first rain, the rooftop, the poems. I want you to live for them now. Live for us, Ollie, and find joy even when the skies are gray. I'll always be watching, smiling at every step you take toward happiness. Yours forever, Sarah." Tears blurred Ollie's vision. For the first time in weeks, he felt a spark. Hope. Sarah hadn't left him completely. She had left him a path to continue their story. The next morning, Ollie went to the garden where they used to walk together. He clutched the letter tightly and read it aloud to the empty air, imagining her listening. "Live for us," he whispered. "I will, Sarah. I promise." The secret letter gave Ollie purpose. He began small, visiting the cafe they loved, reading the poems she wrote, and finishing the one she left incomplete. Every action was a tribute to her life and their love. Slowly, Ollie began to smile again. Not because he forgot her, but because her words reminded him that love doesn't truly die. It continues, it inspires, it guides. Ollie realized that Sarah's death didn't end their story. It transformed it. He could live, but now every choice, every action, every dream was a continuation of her life through him. And for the first time, he felt a gentle peace. Ollie woke up the next morning with a newfound determination. Sarah's secret letter had ignited a fire within him. He could not let her love, her dreams, and her words fade into silence. He started small. First, he visited the library where they used to study together. He placed her diary on the same table where she had once written her poems, reading them aloud to the quiet room. He could almost hear her voice echoing back, guiding him. Next, Ollie pursued her passion for writing. He began writing a book, a collection of Sarah's poems interwoven with their memories. Each line, each chapter, was a testament to their love, a way to immortalize her spirit. Friends noticed a change in him. The boy who had been lost in grief was slowly returning. Yet, every smile he gave was tinted with bittersweet memories. One afternoon, Ollie visited Sarah's favorite park, the one where they had promised to watch the first rain together. As raindrops fell softly, Ollie whispered, "Sarah, this is for you." He let the rain wash over him, feeling her presence in every drop. Ollie also fulfilled her small dreams. He sent the poems she had written to local competitions, ensuring her words reached the world. He even tried cooking in her memory, laughing quietly at his disastrous attempts because he remembered her teasing, "Ollie, noodles aren't that hard." Months passed, and Ollie's life slowly gained color again. He wasn't fully healed. Some nights, he still cried for her, but the ache became a gentle reminder rather than unbearable pain. Everywhere he went, he carried Sarah with him. In his thoughts, in his actions, in his heart. Her dreams became his mission, and living them became the way he honored her love. The city no longer felt empty. Every corner held a memory, yes, but also a promise that love, even after death, could inspire life. Ollie often sat at the rooftop where they had once planned their future. He looked at the stars and whispered softly, "I'm living for us, Sarah. Every step, Years had passed, yet Ollie never forgot Sarah. Her diary, her letters, her words, they were etched into his soul. He had lived through the pain, followed her dreams, and honored every promise they had made under the stars. One evening, Ollie returned to the rooftop where their love story had first blossomed. The city lights glimmered below, the wind whispered through the trees, and clouds gathered above. A gentle rain began to fall. He stood there silently, clutching Sarah's diary against his chest. He whispered into the wind, "Sarah, I've lived. I've done what you wanted. I've kept your dreams alive." The rain soaked him, but it felt comforting, like her gentle touch. Ollie closed his eyes and imagined her smiling beside him, the girl who had changed his life forever. A memory flashed, Sarah laughing under the rain, holding his hand tightly, saying, "If Ollie is reading this after I'm gone, I want him to know he was my forever." Ollie smiled through his tears. "I remember. You're my forever, Sarah, and I'll carry you with me until we meet again." For the first time in years, Ollie felt peace. The ache in his chest softened, replaced by warmth. The warmth of love that never truly dies. He opened the diary one last time and read aloud the poem Sarah had left unfinished. "Even if tomorrow never comes, I'll live in the memories we made today. And if love has an afterlife, I'll find you there and stay." Ollie's voice shook, but he continued, letting each word echo into the night. The rain fell harder, as if nature itself was weeping with him and for him. He sat down on the rooftop, letting the rain wash over him, feeling Sarah's presence in every droplet. And in that quiet, Ollie whispered one final promise. "I'll see you again in the next life, in every dream, in every heartbeat. Until then, my love, my Sarah." The night grew silent. The city lights shimmered, the rain softened, and the stars appeared once more. Ollie looked up and smiled through his tears. Love had survived. Though she was gone, Sarah lived in him, in the world they had dreamed of together. And for the first time, Ollie felt whole.